In December of '98, I found out I was expecting, and in February of '99, I was to have my ultrasound to find out if it was a boy or girl. A very exciting day. And Dr. Barrett did an ultrasound, and he was very surprised at what he seen. He couldn't explain it because he had never seen anything like what he was seeing, and his answer was probably abortion. So on July 24th of 1999, a little girl named Lacey Pate made her arrival at the Winter Haven Regency, and a few hours after she was born, she was flown to Tampa General, and she was there for 32 days the first time.
When Lacey was born and we saw what kind of shape she was in, I was totally disappointed, heart broke. Couldn't really, although we knew that some things may be wrong, still the reality of knowing that and seeing her in that condition, it really broke my heart.
Oh, they were very confused. They thought she had heart condition. They knew she had a lung condition. They felt like her kidneys were damaged. It was a Saturday, and they had doctors coming in from Orlando before she was even flown to Tampa, just because they wanted to see what was going on, because this had never happened before. They had never seen a child born with the complications that she had. So they definitely felt like there was, no way that she could live like this. But they did call Tampa General, and their flight team came over and flew her out.
I remember that the doctors came in, like I said, numerous doctors, the nurses, trying to find out, trying to figure out what her condition was, what was going on. And then Dr. Kusef, he's a genetics doctor, he was there, I believe it was that week, came in and diagnosed her with King syndrome.
King syndrome is a very rare genetic syndrome. She is the third child in the United States with a possible of 12 in the world. There are many things that fall under King syndrome. Arthrogryposis, it's contractures of all the joints, so every joint in Lacey's body is contracted, so she can't raise her arms, she can't stretch her legs, even her jaws, her fingers, she can't open her hands to clap, to open, widely, she can't do that. She has failure to thrive, so she has a feeding tube. It causes hearing loss. I have to kind of look at Lacey to go from head to toe to remember all the things. The first 2 years we were in the hospital so much, and in her third year the doctor felt like her scoliosis had progressed so severely that it was crushing her lung, and he said although she had beaten all the odds at this point, there was no way that she could live because her spine was just crushing her lungs, so she couldn't breathe, so she was on oxygen all the time. So they put her in Tampa General, and they had done some blood tests and found out that some of her blood tests were coming back so severely high that they didn't know how she was living that way, and they said she would probably go into a coma within hours or a couple days, and that would be it. There was no way with those levels. But once again, she proved them wrong, and her levels just totally changed. They didn't come down, but everything else changed to work with that level. But the spine was still curved, and we had to do something. a doctor in San Antonio, Texas, who invented the Vector. And we made a trip out there in September of 2002, and he felt like that it was worth trying. He didn't know that it would definitely save her life, but he knew that it was her only option, her only chance at living.
This instrument that we use, called the vertical expandable prosthetic titanium rib, we call it the Vector. It was developed here in San Antonio, and we attach it to the child without fusing the spine, but it straightens the spine and allows them to grow until they become an adult. You can see how this spine is curved. Well, when you look at someone straight on, their spine should be straight up and down. And that's the problem, is this curve will slowly get worse as the child grows. And it can get very, very bad, where they're almost like little pretzels. And then it affects their heart, their ability of the heart to work, their lungs, affects the ability of the lungs to work, it affects the internal organs, and they end up not being able to walk. It can be very bad. So we can take this crooked spine and we can straighten it out. And here you can see how we've taken the spine, and this is much older, as you can tell, but we've straightened it out and we hold it straight with this device. This is the Vector, and this allows the child to grow until they get to be the adult size.
Yes, I do get the night before and the day of surgery, and I'm happy to get over it, so I'm not nervous afterward.
She's in surgery for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But last year, she actually had the device in the middle replaced. And when they did it, it was close to 2 hours, maybe a little bit over. But they cut her from the top of her back to the bottom, and so she was pretty, the incision was pretty severe.
It's made me stronger, seeing what she goes through, and just I'm thankful for everything that I have.
But I would think it was a huge accomplishment. I couldn't believe the day that she took her first steps. It's almost like today, how she took her first steps across the floor. It was amazing. I mean, we were, crying and we were rejoicing, and it was just something huge, and it was a dream of hers, one of her dreams of many, but it was pretty awesome to see that.
Our lives definitely would be different without Lacey. She brings so much joy and excitement. I don't know what life would be like without her.
It's difficult, like I said, at times, but if you have the desire and determination for your child and your family, there's nothing that you can't accomplish if you set your mind to it. Lacey has proven over and over again that she could do things that I thought were unbelievable.
I do like Stambaugh.
What's your favorite class at Stambaugh?
Well, one of them is TV production. I'm just happy to, wake up and start the day and go and have fun.